What is up, friends? Hello, hello. Happy days. It is time for some FACEIT League. We are coming up in the very end of week 4. We're coming up on the halfway mark of season 7, and we're actually going to get a little bit of a 2-week break here for the first time in one of our FACEIT seasons. So it kind of makes for this interesting marker here halfway through season 7. We still have a couple of banger matches to get through, including tonight's NA expert matchup. We're going to have the Kafe taking on Vivacity Vengeance here tonight. A team that is surpassing expectations and versus a team that we have high expectations of, but seemingly a little bit, is playing catch up right now. So a little bit of role reversal right now, as the team we have lower ranked is currently sitting 6-1. That's going to be Vivacity Vengeance. Let's take a look. Let's look at the standings. We'll go from there. And you can see Vivacity Vengeance right here at the top, 6-1, currently listed in 4th. Now that's a little skewed because there's, a variety of number of games played from our teams. But you have to scroll down a little bit to find your 3rd seed in Kafe. They're currently sitting 4-2. Again, now part of that is because they only have 6 games played. So there's teams that are 4-4 listed above Kafe that are 4-2, which, feels a little weird. With that said, Kafe shouldn't be listed at 17th, but at the same time, wouldn't have expected them, I don't think, to be 4-2 at this point. I'll bring up the power rankings real quick. We actually moved them up from their initial ranking in 3rd to 2nd place. So they are actually number 2 in our power rankings. And have taken a loss since then. One of the reasons we had them sitting at in 2nd place is their only loss was to our number 1 seed in I Have a Knife, and they were able to beat Fallen Destiny, who we had highly rated as well. They also took I Have a Knife to 5 maps, and that was, at the time of doing the power rankings, their only loss. Then they were able to 3-2 Fallen Destiny. And we kind of put them in that order based on those 2 5-map series. And felt pretty confident in where we had Kafe. But this recent loss to Celestia, absolutely unexpected. This happened since we've done our power rankings. It was also a 5-map. Apparently Kafe just plays nothing but 5-map bangers. Hello, welcome.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, it's going very well. How are you doing? How's your week going?
Good. Did you already do your team intro? Or
I was kind of in the middle of it. We kind of...
Okay, good.
Yeah, but basically, I just started talking about Kafe. Kafe are our number 2 seed on our power rankings. They're currently sitting 4-2, where they had... Their only loss is a 2-3 to our number 1 seed. They had 3-2'd the previous number 2 seed. And so we had this nice little, all in 5-map series, we had this nice little 1-2-3 in our power rankings, and then they turned around and lost yesterday to a team called Celestia. Once again in a 5-map series. So apparently the Kafe only play 5-mappers. That's just all they know how to do. Literally their last 3 series have gone to map 5. But I would not have expected this loss to Celestia. This is a bit of a curveball. And I mean, just kind of speaks volumes of Celestia. And I will say, that squad was 5-0 when we reviewed them. So maybe I just kind of slept on this Celestia squad a little bit. But Kafe have that kind of high expectations on them. We currently have them listed at number 2. Actually, Celestia just really are that kind of good. Celestia are 6-1 with their 1 loss also being I Have a Knife.
I love that team name.
It's great. It's a stack team too.
Yeah,
they're number 1 in our power rankings for a reason. Yeah, I think a little history was actually in order, right? Because we really do have 3 very, very close map 5s and a map 5 between Celestia and Knife as well. We can kind of see where these teams are sitting. Now, Vengeance is another 6-1 team that are kind of fighting to get into that. But if we look at Vengeance's strength of schedule, they haven't been nearly as tested. Their 1 loss is to NCSU Red. Now, we have NCSU Red rated pretty high. They are rated 5th in our power rankings. And we have Vengeance debuting at number 8. Honestly, this is a kind of a brand new squad. You see underlines under some people. If you see an underline on a name, they're new to that team. They nerfed La Lupa. Wait, what? Really? Apparently they hotfix and nerf Vendetta. Oh, we might have to
I
go
thought they
check that
said
out.
she wasn't strong. I thought they were buffing her. They like upped her lifesteal or something, right?
Yeah, no, they upped her lifesteal and her perk for sure since launch. Like they reduced her
yeah.
recovery time to make her snappier. But I didn't know what to make of this Vengeance squad. Just to put a little bow on that thought, a lot of new players here, a lot of names I don't recognize at all, but they have truly come out with a vengeance. They're living up to the namesake. They also will get first map pick here. We're at top of the hour. They're starting to choose. Looks like they picked Nepal.
Nepal seems more brawlish to me, just based on all 3 points. I mean, Village especially.
Yeah. Village and Shrine are so up close and personal, especially because you can just kind of anchor on the point. Like you can play high ground and play around them, you know, particularly on Village. But at the end of the day, you have to come attack the point at some point, and teams can just kind of bunker up and play death ball at that point. I was like, wait a minute, if we're not gonna put your cam in here, let me put at least like special guest. Yeah. Look at me, I'm being a good streamer.
What a good host. If these hero bans are legit, we got Diva and Reaper.
I don't know what
everyone bans Diva on Control. I mean,
yeah.
I think
I don't know what to make of the Reaper ban.
Reaper ban is like, okay, I don't know, are one of these teams gonna lock Ram or Winston? And it's, when you're just playing a lot of front to back brawl, Reaper is a very easy plug and play. If you're just gonna be stacked as a team, it's very idiot proof.
And Whiskey and Kafe are known for playing fast. I always associated them, their identity kind of very much stuck with me because I felt like they had a risky play style, and their tank lives up to that name. And where they play very high tempo, they play very fast. I could see them going into that Zarya Reaper just in your face all the time. They are going to pull off the Vendetta, which definitely has shades of that high aggression. But these would call them the blender comps. These isn't really the blender comps, actually. This is a little bit slower variation, although we are getting the Venn diagram on the other side. We're getting Vendetta and Venture here being shown by Vengeance. Just to add more Vens to that.
And also another thought about the Reaper is that, well, the ultimate goes it kind of lets loose when there's no Diva to matrix that. So there's not always a good response to a Death Blossom unless you maybe want a Javelin with an Orisa. But wow, we're just getting straight to the point here. Lucio Moira, you can tell that this would maybe be the team that wants to run the Reaper.
yeah. And they are going to do exactly what I was talking about, just kind of anchor on the point. They're not going to play the high ground game like we often see here for first fight. It's just bunker up on the objective and deny space as much as possible. Get cap and start building percentage. Risky immediately. Just look at the onslaught. 5 blue soldiers just tackled Risky, but they're able to dance around. First goes through and just gets the kills while Risky survives the entire thing.
I can't believe Risky did not die. I was really worried about Risky being so accessible there, because as a Sigma, you want to be able to hold space and allow your DPS to take really dangerous angles and to stay steady on those angles. And Risky just stood right beside of the point, maybe thinking about contesting it, but may want to just go to the high ground to at least be further out of reach, because you just saw how crazy Risky, I can't believe Risky did not die. So Ray did a lot of work there on the Sojourn, and now you got a Kitsune Rush advantage and no heals from the blue side.
Oh, gets overrun. She just gets drilled by the Temper Venture. Vendetta and Venture on the same team is not going to be kind to me, I'm telling y'all. On fire, deny of the touch. First, we'll get put back into a respawn timer and good cleanup here from Vengeance.
I'm liking the Vendetta here, and you don't even need the Zarya for you able to kind of stay close and play this from front to back. So really unfortunate to lose the Moira, and honestly, that just should not be happening if I wanted to be extra critical, because you have a Fade, you can go quite far away, especially when you level up the Fade later on. So just need to be able to conserve that until the very last moment. But also great job from Kafe to run that Moira down as soon as you see the cooldown. Okay, we're going in.
Oh, yeah, we're going fast. Axe is going to find Ray through that, despite the Suzu we saw throw it in, but the Kitsu in response. This is getting deadly. It's not going to be anything that Vengeance can't handle. They shrug off the Kitsune Rush. Flawless fight from them. Did we lose the sound barrier? I did not see that sound barrier land there, Lemon.
I did not even... Yeah, they must have just got run over so fast that they Ajax. That I don't know if Kafe can pull off what they did in the first fight every time because they just got suffocated. So a little bit worried about how fast and how aggressive Vengeance are. You should really never go through that initial choke point, but we'll see.
Touch behind on the first ultimate, but did not get anything. Risky caught one, but the beat in from Warlock. We've got double support, as a matter of fact, combined with a Tectonic Shock. 3, 4 ultimates layered in here from Vengeance, but they get the job done.
Unfortunately, too many ults. You got to really coordinate the beat first, then maybe a coalescence or even just tempo coal, whatever it is. But it happens. It's the very first round, very first fight, and they play so fast. I'm surprised they can probably hear each other with probably how the comm system's got to be on a team like that. But one fight away from the win.
With the Venn diagram comp, there's so many team fights. We're going to get a cage fight. Speaking of, Risky gets caught in that. It's really all you need. Trying to get the touch, the denial. Oh, no. Poor you, completely taken off track. You're on the wrong side of the neighborhood here, bud. Or you'll get cut down. And a nice comebacks. Vengeance swing this all the way from 039 to 100.
There's very short sightlines on this map, so it is very hard to kind of have a stationary Sigma, Sojourn, poke away type of comp, especially at the speed that Vengeance are at. They basically went to the point right away, and it's difficult to be on that high ground and to get good sightlines on the people within that point, just with the low ceilings, the walls, and whatnot. So Kafe, I'm surprised they even won that first fight with how fast they got run over, but after that, Vengeance became a lot more focused in that chaos. And again, Ray doesn't have the space and the time to operate, but I think on a map like Sanctum, you're gonna have that luxury a lot better. There's 2 very long hallways, opportunities for flank. You want to go to the more open pillar side for that long range hit scan, but first has to figure out first what they want to play, and we're actually gonna go to the Vendetta. Okay.
Duramakar, thank you for the follow-up. Appreciate you. Risky sticking with the Sig just to hold this bridge. Look for our 2 sword-wielding gladiators to go face-to-face. Actually, a slow engage here out of Vengeance. They're waiting for the overrun. Oh, I think they might knock the Sig off. Risky doing good to keep their toes on dry ground there, but the aggressive move will claim your supports. Pair of kills, Temper getting final blows.
Was Axe ever a DPS in their lifetime? Because I feel like they kind of just run in and go crazy, but their mechanics are very solid for Amalga, you know, just for a tank player in general. So I think this is a really great choice of a hero, and a lot of times Kafe have gotten close to getting kills, but not the full closeout. So they gotta really hone in when push comes to shove, because that seems all what Vengeance are doing is shoving people around with this brawl.
God, this is quite the brawl. It's fun to watch too, and with the Vendetta and Adventure as well. I guess they have 2 guns behind the tank. They don't need their DPS to carry money. Ray will get cut down, taking another one off the battlefield. Axe smashes first. It's just so hard for Risky and the rest of Kafe to push through this choke. In fact, now we're going to get Axe, and the Malga runs through to chase down the Sigma. And it's been a struggle bus so far here on Sanctuary for Risky and Kafe.
There definitely needs to be a change on this Sigma once the ult is popped, just because you just don't have space to push it back. You don't have the long enough, you just don't have space. Maybe on the initial fight, if they would have been able to defend, that would have worked, but something in Orisa, just something to keep them away, or Ramatra, match Malga for Malga, I don't know, but hopefully after the Gravitic Flux, there'll be a change.
The Tidal Blast going on the first and trying to break this open. Sound barrier from Warlock. Warlock actually got stunned just after that landed. Very close. Woo! Fancy footwork inside from first and focusing on their counterpart, but just cannot get enough damage in. Eventually, Axe's massive miniguns turn their direction, and Kafe's struggles continue to try to enter the Sanctum.
The Kitsune Rush, that'll be a good ult, and this is the swap I wanted to see. Perfectly pairing with first, and especially when you have the Vendetta ult, you'll want to get as much charge as possible, and the Zarya bubble may just squeeze out a few more seconds there, but there's a lot of mobility from the other side, so I don't know if you could get bodies here.
Oh my god! What was that, Lemon?
That's pretty good. The cage into a C9, but all good.
Like 75 kills at the feed as both sundering, what do they call it? Sundering blades were thrown in simultaneously. Oh, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody was getting past the cage fight, right? Like, the cage fight sealed it. Nobody was going to get the touch. It was just how explosive this character is, that you just see the kill feed light up like that. Just 8 or 9 people all entered at once from that ultimate. That was just wild. Sorry.
This is an insane. No, I wish I threw to you earlier. I did not think they were just going to fight that early, but that's just kind of the bread and butter of Vengeance. It's been a long time since I've liked Mauga and Mauga players, but Axe is proving to me that this is a serviceable composition, and they pair that with the Venture that can kind of go seamlessly under a fight in the midst of that chaos. You lose where the Venture goes. They can leave or come in whenever they want. Same thing with the Moria. You cannot lock down the back line, so you really have to approach this from front to back if you're Kafe. And I think without the Reaper, it's certainly going to make things hard. And they were trying the Vendetta, the Zarya came out, but unfortunately you didn't get to see the full development of that. But I'm sure Kafe will keep that in mind for map 2.
Wasn't it an AJ? Just did not get any value. She only hit herself with it. It was a 1-player beat. It's like, oh, unluckies.
They probably got ran down and they scattered, then line of sights got broken, or I don't know if there was a cage, or I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I didn't
good
quite
eyes, chat.
Didn't quite see it.
I just clicked on your feed to accept the custom lobby invitation. It's so immersive.
Amazing.
And now map 2, Vendetta Ana ban. So crippling that Winston pairing with the Ana Vendetta since everyone was running it, but a very, very mobile DPS to actually get to those high grounds fairly easily. So I would say maybe the range hit skins will have some more fun this time, looking at Ray especially, who I'm sure wanted to play the game, and you got to play a very different game after map 1.
Oh, poor Ray. She's one of the newcomers here, actually, for Kafe. We haven't... Kafe have changed very little since their inception, like back in Season 2. They just came up with an expert here this year in Season 4, and I just kind of started casting them regularly then. But yeah, Ray's a new addition here in Season 7. Haven't seen a whole lot of her yet this far. Don't really know much about
I think
her.
the Ashe is a great pairing here because you got the coach gun that can kind of deflect anyone coming in, but you also get the consistent output of damage. It's not like Sojourn where you have to wait up for a charge, or Freya where you kind of have to have a lot of burst and more follow-up there. Ashe can hit like a truck, especially if Ray can show us some nice headshots too. And you have the Diva involved here since you couldn't ban that. And that's going to be a nice close range tank to try and own more of these high grounds and keep Ray safe.
Oh shoot, I forgot to give y'all preds. Here, let me have one. Get that old school play-by-play back in. I'll give you a second.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, we got the Reaper in the picture, so teleporting in. This can be fairly telegraphed though, so Makoto just has to be careful. The Mauga here, I don't know how much it'll survive because there is no cover besides being in the bed of the truck, which you may just be 6 feet under if you stay out in the open. So you can tell by this offense, they are not getting much progress here. They're trying to heal up. And eventually the defense is going to have to rotate the market, which is pretty much right about now. And Ray's signaling to the defense to fall back and play through the front of the cart. Temper, watching for this Tracer to kind of go up against the other one, but just no high ground control at all. It's just been, let's give as much ult charge to the defense as possible. And Ray's actually 20 off of Bob. So that could be kind of what gives them some breathing room. And the defense never went to the market side, so this is a spot you don't want to be in. And eventually comes out, or I guess the bugged hand of death.
The aura. I would just shake my hand at you, and Ray falls over. The defense, yeah, they never fell back. We ended up just flipping the map. Just stubbornly holding the cart and riding it into the courtyard works. The defense just never rotates, and Kafe puts themselves in a bad spot. Now they're forced to try to come take it back, and really, they have not flipped to the proper sides yet. Actually, gotta be careful. Okay, Ray has returned us back on the high ground. Pulse Bomb will land on Risky, though, and that D-Mech could be nasty. They're going to be allowed to get back in mech. They are. Nobody there to take care of the pilot Diva. And this defense is actually stabilizing, surprisingly enough. I mean, to my surprise.
Especially when the whole defense is turning around for a Tracer. Like, usually you kind of just let the Tracers yell at each other and get to work, and this Bob is doing work, and defense is going to use that and the Kitsune Rush just to fully stabilize, and I would say the offense would have a soft reset here, especially just getting away from the Bob. But
it was
this
just
offense
enough kills.
got a lot.
When it was just enough kills for the offense to like give you hope, you know, and when you're like, dang, do we try to push this?
Yeah. You got a Death Blossom, but against a D.Va, it's more like, can you identify how much Matrix the D.Va has been using if she's under a lot of pressure? And that would be the signal to Death Blossom.
I love the back and Poryu comes in to bail the D.Va out as the defense Matrix is running out. Drops the beat in over the top of everything, and first coming up with yet another kill. The defense does look to finally stabilize. And for the first time in the past 2 minutes, evict Vengeance off this second part of this point.
So much time gone, too. You only have a minute.
Yeah.
Cage Death Blossom could be a fun combo, not something you see every day, and you should be noting that there's no support ultimates from the beat coming out before. Poryu has been a very aggressive Lucio. I like how they're playing with the Tracer to kind of give first that extra edge against Temper, but here's the Cage setup potentially.
Just gonna anchor on card.
Need it.
Yeah, just mows down right. Didn't really find a good Cage target. Ends up running back out. Cycling in is Mikado, but they don't get all the way out. It's a disastrous turn. They needed to get out with those cooldowns.
No idea what happened there. Big desync between Axe and Makoto on the Cage Death Blossom. Just charging in. No one's home. Fantastic macro from the defense to get out of there. Trying to force the fade now is risky and just being normal, causing chaos. Payload needs to get capped.
All right, we got the Magic Hand of Death in the cage fight in play. The Reaper standing right in the middle of it, daring anybody to come close. Risky is just hanging in on the point, is able to stall it out. Hold on for the ultimates. There's the Death Blossom tossed in right amongst the remake. You do get Poryu. That's all you're going to find. The defense now has a Kitsune Rush in play. Oh, very low. Kirikou will eventually get run down. But Risky's still standing tall. First has returned. Pulse doesn't land. The defense hanging on by a knife's edge. They will double team. Risky is the last one left standing, and the defense holds.
That's a really good hold for how disastrous the macro really started out. Not taking control of market side, you could pretty much watch the payload get capped in front of you. That's how hard it is to fight back into market, and why the defense absolutely needs to prioritize that position. What happened is that something with Axe, he just kind of went in super deep past the point A, maybe trying to chase out first or help being called over to something, and that got the defense enough time to get reestablished. And then something with Makoto just having issues gap closing. That's kind of the issue why people don't play Reaper. It's hard on the approach. And it also needs to be more luck on the Lucio that kind of facilitates those things. But there's probably a lot of objectives between the Tracers to everything going on. And also just not enough pressure into Risky, who ended up matrixing most of that Death Blossom. And that is what's going to happen to you, and probably why those bans came out in the previous map.
Axe finally making a change. All right. It's much to the chagrin of my chat. He's giving up on the manga. Mikado pulls out a May here for this defense as well. Interesting. And then a Brig Bap, just to add even more question marks onto this. This is very old. Cringe? Yeah, okay. Yeah, now it makes sense. Oh, now I see the vision. Never mind. All right. This is Clockwork Vendetta stuff right here. What are we doing?
Was it back in the day when you would have a Bastion posted up in here too?
Yeah, this is very much the Clockwork Vendetta strat. I think they invented this strat. I'm fairly confident they did. They would have the May Torb is the way they would do it. Yeah, the Bastion was kind of the classic. And it's just a matter of, can you get in here? Which, I mean, you're just going to pour a bunch of damage in from the outskirts.
And you can't destroy the immortality if that's popped, but you are going to try and bait it out as much as you can. And I like that Risky is helping pull a flank on the other side, and eventually this will break. But hey, just taking off a good 40 seconds is better than nothing. Yeah,
Temper has now left the confines of the little room. First needs to be careful of their flank. See Temper now moving up to the car. Actually uses the form to punch their way out and actually picks up a pair of kills. So the defense, they break form on tradition is how you actually play this. Is Axe gets aggressive, finds a pair.
Yeah, usually you kind of don't leave this room because that's the bait, right? You get people low enough on the outside, you may want to chase kills, and that's how your whole bunker falls apart. And I think there's been enough balance where this offense is finally leaving, but here are the ults.
Yeah, exactly. The bolo shot comes in, finishes off Mikado. A self-destruct right in the doorway will force everybody out. And Then the defense is cleaned up, systematically done. But hey, you know what? 90 seconds eating off the clock.
And you're going to have another fight. So this may just come down to kind of a very similar situation, except the defense is going to have all their ults. So it's a lot on Risky to try and matrix something like the Blizzard, chase out the Tracer, don't give her any good pulse bomb opportunities. Ray just used the Bolo to kind of break open. The self-destruct was used to evict everybody. So it'll be a Kitsune rush, I think, for the offense to get the ball rolling.
It makes tricks and rally, kind of see if they can fortify inside this little room. Same strat, different house. Blizzard tossed it here as well. They were trying to create a party. Unfortunately, Kafe just did not take the bait or the invitation, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Kitsune Rush to reclaim their objective, sending the Diva in deep amidst the chaos. The disco ball is up and we're dancing. Axe is leading, and I think the defense might actually hold.
Yeah, that was a big nothing burger on the Blizzard. I thought, oh, we're not getting enough impact on the rally, the Blizzard, and this is not a typical room you do that bunker style in, or at least that I've seen it in a common way. But the offense just kind of got really impatient and stepped into that room and into the trap. And you lost Fern, you lost Risky, and it's cooked. Now you only have a minute and no ults. Oh, I guess Bolo, but see how that goes.
I mean, to be fair, Bolo did get buffed, and it's kind of, it reminds me of like Holt from Overwatch 1, but with slow on it. It actually has some use. Since they buffed the AoEs on it. Axe is going hunting.
Oh, Temper's already dead. This is not good at all. Oh yeah, the colors are changed. The defense in trouble.
Yeah, and the shield does block the ultimate, but still Risky and company are able to find their way in. The Bolo shot just superfluous. A decoration on the outside as we will get the waltz from Kafe. They tie up our series.
Just like that. Maybe a little boop if a Tracer comes to touch.
There is a Tracer touch. There it
is. Now it's gone.
oh, 0.07. 0.07 with the rally in. Temper goes down. We'll see if there's enough resources. You have to spend everything just to get to the objective. Is there enough to actually win a fight? Lead him back here from Risky bodes well for the attacking Kafe. First, we'll pick up Morlock. Is hacked to the back line, has the shift step. All guns are now pointed at Axe, and the Maga won't last long. I'm impressed that we got a final fight here at all. Kept it interesting. Kafe do tie the series, though.
My hope is if you would have stopped Risky from being able to remech after the self-destruct, that would have been very winnable.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit tough. You would have needed the Tracer to be involved, which I think the Tracers were going after the Reaper, and there was kind of some commotion on the other side with what Makoto was causing, so multiple points of lethality, and Risky really went for it. I was worried about how much they were stepping into these rooms, but they made me giggle when they threw the self-destruct into the room on the first point, or one of the first fights.
That's one way to clear out the bunker. Here, have a nuke. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is a bunker buster of a self-destruct as I've ever seen one. That was too funny. What a great map. What a great map. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more out of that Blizzard. I think usually if I were in that position, you see the people at your front door, you don't want them to come in, you throw the Blizzard outside. The bad weather is better on the outside, and then you could have chased down those kills. But it was used defensively, and you have a lot of mobile people on the Kafe side. Wraith out, Diva can get out, Ray's not going to be anywhere near there, Lucio Kiri can easily get out, or Suzu through it, so probably going to be really tough to get value out of the mate in general out of that, but the Blizzard was easily avoidable, along with a lot of the ultimates. Morlock, I think, did great with the rallies going in to even force that fight to be redeemable at all, but yeah, the bunker strats aren't pulled off in pro play for many of reasons, including that it's breakable.
I mean, at the end of the day, to be fair, Vengeance did get it down to OT. I mean, it was pretty desperate at the very end, but the bunker actually did shave off the entirety of the 4 minutes. I do think, yeah, I mean, it was like rally, immortality as well. The Blizzard all thrown in that little room and nobody came in. So I don't know if it was like the greatest bait of all time or like if the main got booped or something, I'm going to, maybe a little bit of benefit of the doubt that they got booped and then, threw the Blizzard off course. I don't know, but yeah, nobody came in when they hit all of their party favors. It was a little wild.
New Junk City with Sigma Venture ban. Makes sense when you have the one team that was trying to force the Sigma a lot on Nepal with that Venture. So yeah, it'll be a lot more about the tracers and the ranged hit scan, whether it's going to be maybe some more sojourns, especially if you get the inkling that this is going to be a really fast type of fight based on how Nepal went. I would want a hit scan that can kind of fend for themselves a little bit more than just based on Nepal.
I think I got everything set up for y'all. Temper will pull out that Raper in lieu of the Venture ban. We saw this thrown out earlier, also kind of, referencing back to those map 1 bans.
Yeah, Temper on the Reaper instead of the Makoto, who was on the Vendetta. The issue with the Reaper is that, yeah, you'll kind of act as a semi-tracer where you can go in for this first point, go and try to cap it. Someone has to be present while the fight takes place elsewhere. But the Reaper is more cooldown dependent and less fluid than Tracer, so a little tough.
Right now is just going to kind of hold with the core of Vengeance as they rotate around this top side. Drop down. Ooh, they find a vulnerable Risky. They get the DMAC and the kill onto the pilot pretty darn quickly. First tried to get into the mix, but was just too little too late. And a really good recognition, shot calling out of Vengeance. They get a great advantage early in this fight.
Yeah, very shades of Nepal with just how fast that cap was. They'll just have to be very careful and probably can't even hold the choke based on Savage getting picked late at the end. Maybe just trying to throw an orb out. Got headshot by Ray. So this is a big opening here for the red side.
You get the cap kind of for free. It's, a little bit of a mistake there from Vengeance, just kind of giving that over to Kafe. Run in, kills are traded. Ray and Fern out of this fight. Axe looking for more, trying to see if they can isolate first. Gets the stun on the overrun. And we'll take down first with the help of some friends. And immediately, the point goes right back in control of Vengeance.
Yeah, smart of Kafe to just go for the cap right away when you knew that Vengeance was falling back to get Savage back in the fight. But they still ended up losing it despite feeling like Kafe were setting the tone and they were taking the initiative on these fights. Coalescence, though, pretty early and before the Kitsune rush, which could be a good retaliation tactic if Kafe lives.
We're actually going to just engage with the Coalescence right out of the gate. Ricardo runs down Risky. Ooh, I don't know if enough people survived to try to throw out this kit. By the time it's ready, Kafe have already just bled out too many reinforcements. And once again, we're seeing that excellent call out. All 5 players from Vengeance seem to just turn on one target, one after another.
Yeah, and that was the key of can you live long enough for that Kitsune rush? And it was actually a 5v4 for Kafe. They had that initial pick. Ray is as impactful as ever, and this unfortunately tried to Kitsune rush contest at the end, and now this is all for nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of worst case scenario. You lose both, unfortunately. Not to mention you end up losing the fight, too. Not only do you lose your ultimate and lose the point, you can't even get the kills. It's a feels bad fight for Kafe as they go to lick their wounds and return here for point B, or second flashpoint.
Yeah, and Savage is so quick to build these coalescences, and even just the first one we saw was pure offense. Like, they know when they have Kafe in a lot of pain, and they could throw the coalescence as an offensive tactic, and now a tempo beat.
You just run over Ray. Don't even stop the overrun. Fine, poor you. What a tempo it was. Setting that to just 255 beats per minute. That's as high as a metronome goes, by the way, friends. Maximum tempo here for Vengeance.
Got a lot of good ults on the other side, and this point is very open and great for ranged hit scans, so I'm hoping Ray can really show us what they're made of this Sojourn. They've had good glimpses, good headshots, good picks, but it all kind of rides on you, because we'll see if First can fully charge that Sunderblade with a D.Va instead of a Zarya.
Mikado turning into the cage fight, trying to combo. Woo, didn't quite connect. Oh, and first catches you off guard. What a play. Swings hard left. The boop will deny a lot of the value out of the Death Blossom as well. But Risky flies back in. Does not get... Risky, yeah, does not get saved by that sound barrier. Despite how it looked up top.
This was such a wild fight.
Yeah,
cage,
this is...
like Sunder Blade to break a cage. We're just learning all these new interactions and coalescence to kind of fight back into this, and it still ends up going the way of Vengeance, who never lost control of the point. So this is going to get to map point here very soon.
Oh, with a dirty stagger at the end. That was... And it felt like it was going in Cafe's favor. You're first able to, not only break the cage, but gets that opening pick, gets to the opening flank. You devalue the Death Blossom. Looked like everything was going in Cafe's favor.
Vengeance are looking really, really good in this map. They seem in full control. They dictate all of the fights. They're getting a lot of impact out of their ultimates. And I didn't think I was going to say that the Moira is suiting out this comp better than Akiri is at the moment, but Ray's still trying to make this possible.
Yeah, let's check in on this OC. Oh, beautiful. Wow, I didn't see Temper just Wraith forming right in front of him. Good two-piece and a much-needed fight win here for Kafe.
That's that Sojourn ult I wanted to see in the previous point, but just didn't have the right setup for it. And hey, conserving it for a better opportunity, that's what makes a great DPS player. And now you have to do the 0 to 100 times 3 to try and take back this map. And Risky buys them some time.
He's going to look to continue to pile on that two-player lead. Oh, and Axe goes forward. I don't know about that. Just feels like you're feeding yourself into the blender.
More time gone. I mean,
yeah.
Vengeance got to get it together if they want to have a fight at all. But they probably know that. I mean, even then, you could almost make the call. Don't use ults at all. Build as much as you can, and then dump 5 ults into the next point and win the map. If you wanted to go for the guaranteed win, but if you want to have fun, yeah, use ults whenever.
I mean, they are relentless. Vengeance will continue with that. Oh, Death Blossom in. For you first will end up falling. It look like the cage fight Death Blossom combo working beautifully. So they're gonna pour in 2 of those ultimates that they've built up, and the flip here from Vengeance.
And now it's the marathon. Make sure you don't lose anybody, because you never know when Ray's gonna start popping heads, and you want to be able to respect that. And I know it makes sense to kind of get out of the point, get some ult charge, do what you can, but gotta be careful of Ray, who's gonna have yet another Sojourn ultimate, and you have a Reaper with no Diva to kind of counteract first, so this could be a big Death Blossom.
Ray trying. Oh, it is a big Death Blossom. It is 100% a big Death Blossom. Sound barrier gets canceled. Nothing doing. Axe strikes backs and finds a pair, but Ray's still shooting you in the back. OC's gone, but still able to get it done. Wow, that was an explosive 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah. And this Reaper is a great swap from first. This is going to be what blows up Amalga and what makes them have to second guess if they want a cage match against the Dark Lord. But hey, Kafe, 1 point out of 3 that they need to get to win the map and to go ahead in the series. And they'll have a bit tempo beat to work with. And Makoto wants to see the approach and charge up the Sunder Blade, and gotta keep an eye on what these Reapers are doing too.
Got the play ready to go. Bordy's gonna drop the beat, and it's actually Kafe getting aggressive. We were talking about their trademark aggression, and we haven't really seen it much until now. They're trying to confine Vengeance into the corner, drop his self-destruct in. Little shades of Dorado here. Temper, though, able to just Wraith form up, denies the remake. And here comes Axe and Company stomping onto the objective. Great kill on to pour you, and they'll get first cap.
And Axe is so impactful on the Malga with just these knockups, being really precise on when you're able to end that leap in. And that's what can set up your DPS for success, especially when you pair that with a Reaper. Now, one's going to be faster than the other, so you just have to be careful on syncing up when those knockups happen. But Ray's going to be comfortable here at a distance, try and get some picks. But you can tell that Temper is hiding for a moment to strike.
Oh, and Temper's gonna find Ray. It's Ray who gets picked. Now we've got that deadly cage fight Death Blossom combo pretty much ready to go. Not gonna need it here. One final chance for Kafe, and they're gonna be running into that deadly duo of a combo.
That's the thing. Like, if you see a Reaper killing a Sojourn, they have been able to correctly identify when that Sojourn Leaf was used and able to collapse on that. So I had a feeling that Temper was in the right place, knowing, okay, my team is giving up this space that I'm in front of, so they're gonna, the enemy is gonna leap in this position, and Temper just got on top. Ray, dead, and that's really tough to see. That's a big carry part of Kafe.
Oh, and first actually died from the Whirlwind Slash of Mikado before the Death Blossom even hit the battlefield. Risky, alone Kafe player trying to hold the line against the tides, but I'm afraid New Junk City has crashed around you. Vengeance take the 2-1 lead in the series.
Kind of shades of that Nepal. Their brawl, their rush. I don't even want to call it a brawl because sometimes there's no fight back. They just run you over.
It's
just
ground dive.
Like you get to say, yeah, ground dive.
It's ground dive. It's Malga. When you were talking about like I kind of respect this Malga player, that's what popped into my head. I'll see these Malga players play this ground dive style, and it's exactly what we're seeing out of Vengeance.
You pair that with a Reaper who can kind of be in there. And that's kind of a nice band-aid for the Venture ban, because I would assume Temper would want to, or somebody on that team would want to play the Venture to pair up with that dive, be able to seamlessly go in, or have an escape route out. So Venture will be on the table for the next map. All depends if Kafe are going to try to choose a map that isn't so friendly for the rush.
Taking the red side, like, all right, we're going to ban the Malga. We're going to New Queen Street. They're still going ground impelled. They just wanted to mold the rush. I mean, we're immediately getting into this. Oh my goodness, an immediate Kiriko ban. Vengeance knew exactly what they wanted to do. A very brief look at stats, but I'm gonna go ahead and plug this and get ready to get into this. Oh my goodness, that was fast.
I can see the return of the Sigma easily with some Sojourns, Tracers. There's a lot going on. New Queen Street, I mean, has these long roads, so the ranged hit scans could have a lot of fun. It is home to the flankers. A lot of these flank routes have mega packs in them, so it's very friendly for self-sufficient players like Tracers, Sombras, whatever it is. And usually you accompany a Kiriko into that mix, someone who could add to that damage, someone who could Suzu if things get crazy. But not having that Kiri may make things difficult. But there's also been a lot of Lucio Moira, but if you're going to the Sigma, I don't think that would be as cute to pair up with. If the Sigma is even a more stationary thing you even want to play, because Vengeance only want to go all the time.
Look at me, actually remembering Preds. I'm a good streamer. Look at me go.
Yeah.
Yay.
Based Outlaw skin, though, from Ray.
Right?
I really like the Outlaw skin.
With the Emerald weapon, mind you.
Ooh.
They're rocking the fit. I respect it. Oh, I definitely fit check our players, don't you? It comes with the art degree, you know?
This may be a hard map to play Vendetta in, just with how long these roads can be. You can maybe take advantage of that top tunnel for the neutral fight. And if you know your flank routes, I'm sure you could pull that off with the Vendetta. Just how to be out of sight, out of mind. But man, Vendetta just seems like that brawl hero, but also just so mobile and so divey. It's hard to classify. I
mean, Vendetta kind of does everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels like if Brig were an off tank. Is actually kind of, but it is actually in the DPS role.
With a sword instead of a shield.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, look at him go. Oh my goodness, Mikado with a lightning fast first pick, and Ray is sitting there wondering, how do I survive as a hit scan against this?
And the queen pick is cool because it's like Zarya if you gave her Gracie. You know, if you gave her a gun and an axe and all that, you just use your shift to amplify. Usually you would have paired this with a Genji to kind of have a pseudo, I don't know, shield to that Genji whenever you would ult. And this is, I guess, kind of the same thing. You pair that shift with these divers. Oh my god.
And the shout is able to cycle so well with the Vengeance cooldown, the Vendetta cooldown. So it allows Vendetta to stay in the fight that much longer, especially once you get your overhead slash, start getting some lifesteal on it. We've seen this, I mean, high tempo Junker Queen Vendetta combination before, and it is working beautifully. I mean, there's the blender in full effect right here, friends.
So that Axe is like, yes, I'll support you, but I also want to do damage and kill stuff, which is kind of what signals the Queen pick instead of the Zarya pick, which I thought would have been stronger and harder to counter. And Risky knows their rock, paper, scissors, brings out the Zarya because Axe won't be able to defend against that. And you got to prioritize killing Risky, especially if that energy gets high.
And first now getting bubbles. And you have to respect it. You have to break those bubbles. So the energy is going to go up. Grab is in the mix. First comes in with an overhead slice. And that did not get nerfed as we had learned. Still a pure 130 through everybody. Now we're going to get the Sundering Blade. No, we are not. Never mind. No Sundering Blade for you. Makoto shuts that down.
There's some kind of beef between Makoto and First on these vendettas. This is not the first time they've crossed each other up and canceled ultimates and stuff like that. But this is also an untouchable lead from Vengeance currently. We're at the checkpoint, and they got Rampage, which is such a big ultimate for this part of the map. There's a nice long road. But if people are going to stay in the window, they're not going to have good targets for it. But eventually, they have to contest the cart.
Yeah, and here comes Risky and Kafe. They're dropping down. That's looking juicy. Want to try to get some bubbles out. OC from Ray. No, never mind. Tipper's going to come in and layer in this tectonic on top of everything. And a huge purple lands as the Axe Rampage is enormous.
Some progress here from Vengeance, but somehow Poryu on the Brigida kills both supports from Vengeance. I have no idea how that even happens. How does a Brig even get access to the two most mobile supports?
I have so many questions.
But yeah, I guess 72 meters is all Vengeance is going to get for now somehow.
Fern got in the mix too. I noticed. I was like, wow, okay, so the back line of Kafe just killed through the Rampage tectonic shock. There's the back line showing up and saving the day.
Gotta make a big comeback. Lots of time though, but you had to use ultimates to just stabilize yourself. But I think the Zarya is the better choice here. Just have to manage those bubbles carefully, but so much pressure. There's only so much a Zarya can handle.
I mean, you're just getting booped from everyone, too. You got booped from Morlock, I think Temper as well with the drill dash, the shout, and everybody's just swarming the Zarya. That was, ow. I felt that one in my bones, Risky.
Yeah, this is just... It's one thing to counter just using a hero, but there's also a counter to just using strats. That's why the best one-trick teams in the world, you can't counter them because they just know how to play. And that's just the focus of Vengeance. They know once both those bubbles are popped, the Zarya can't do anything, but First kicks things off.
First goes in deep, but we'll get the shout out, and you see the quick disengage. We've got a plan here out of Kafe. They want to go in and get those cooldowns out, but Axe still is able to find value with it. Immediately comes in on the aggression. First finds 3 through it all, though. Oh, my. We got a grab out from Risky that caught 3 off screen, and First is able to capitalize.
And it must be so awkward to know how to space out against a team like Vengeance, because at any moment they could Lucio speed in, shout in. There's just so much speed, and the Coalescence melted for you, but First took over the entire fight. So you cannot ignore the Vendetta. There's so many high priority targets on the Kafe side. Being a high energy Zarya, which Risky keeps getting reset, and I would say First needs to be kill number 1.
Risky does get run down again here. Fern tried to get the orbital image. It's just too little too late. We did get a first or ultimate over the top. The sound barrier from Axe just gets cut right through. Maybe didn't even land, but it feels like a +1. Rally now in play. And Kafe swing it once again. This is a second half kind of team.
It really is. And a Brig Juno combo is not something you see every day. It's just needing some kind of speed element, more heals, and then, like you said, an orbital that could look really nice on a map like this, but you miss out on the peel that the Lucio gives you, and Toto charges up.
Sundering Blade. It's effective at zoning. You gotta respect the damage. But Risky Company are still here. Looking to turn this corner. Where's First at? I'm looking for First instead of disengagement. All right, we're just playing right here on the front line, very front back aiming. Well, and it is backup time as Tipper has a tectonic shock. Drill dash in and you catch Poryu, not able to rotate fully away. So the Brig on the Juno now particularly vulnerable. Oh, but don't forget Juno can headshot.
Yeah, I fear the red side wanted to be proactive, but if there's any members in the top of the window, you walk into an open area, it's not a good fight to take. But you also don't want to just let a Venture, Shout team, Coalescence or something run you down. But Ray, this is a great kickoff of the fight.
Axe, I felt like Axe had a heart attack. Everybody just looked at Axe and they just fell over and died. What a huge kill. That gives you checkpoint. Like, Axe had Rampage too. I mean, that was an enormous pick.
And this next fight will define who is going to keep the lead or take the lead. All of the Ray.
And that overclock, not finding any targets. 2 hit by the Rampage. Pour you in first. Oh, both are going to end up purple. Both supports now down here for Kafe. And a pivotal fight at 3.5 minutes. Fully in control of Vengeance. Ray picks up 2, but will not be able to swing the fight. Made it exciting, though.
It'll make it so at least this blue side can't probably get more than that 72 meters because you're going to want to wait for your full stack if you're pushing towards spawn. But
True.
Hey, still 3 minutes to try and push back and get the lead back. It's tough to fight into a Rampage. It's hard to zone away from that corner unless you had window control. And even then, you could tell that this red side was trying to get aggressive before any Rampage play could be called.
Ooh, we're going right over, looking for the back line. Maybe try to get grab right here on the corner. Exactly. He's going to catch 4. It's an enormous, gargantuan, humongous if you would. And that's exactly what Kafe needed. They will clean this up with a flawless team fight. They don't even have to invest the Sundering. They're able to keep 2, actually, key ultimates here with that and the Orbital in the pocket.
And that's big because you may just need a few ultimates just to confirm that lead. I think somebody should be back to recontest. You got a Lucio 2 on the blue side, but somebody has to touch now and the lead's gone. And that's just Axe seeing targets at the window and wanting to fight that. But now the lead has been lost.
I think Axe, I don't know if they got hit by the Sundering play, but they're super low. Watch for the Morlock beat to get back into this. Kafe trying to force a map 5 here. They're going to go and throw the Orbital on top and take the aggression to Vengeance. Just trying to take all this space away. Nothing's coming up their favor just yet. Risky will eventually pick up 1 as there's a little tiny Overwatch here in the room. Goes Kafe's favor.
And from, what, like a 0 to 60 deficit to now looking for a full cap. This is a crazy turnaround from Kafe. This Zarya pick made the whole difference. First is also insane on Vendetta.
We're swinging into a sound barrier. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite cut through at all. There was a rally in play. And that rally actually enables a good disengage here with 75 seconds to go. But Risky falls, and that's going to call for a reset.
And 120 meters is all you really need.
Can't ask for much more. I mean.
And yeah, and for only a minute, and you may just have a fight before you could even get progress going. So Makoto's going to have to go X Games mode. And then I like that Axe is going to try and bubble this. You swap to the Zarya. You need to enable your DPS here.
The zone from the Sundering. Just buy some space on the street. Careful on that high ground. First was trying to sneak in that soft underbelt. Grab out of Risky. Catches 2 this time. Both of your supports. And they're going to go down. First is there to capitalize. Sorry, I put the camera in a wall for a moment. When we came out, it seems to be all Kafe left on the point.
I was worried that Risky was a bit desynced with the grab, but still had the right setup, the right members stuck in it. So the team finished it off. 12 seconds though, and now you're just gonna abandon the cart so the other team can't touch it, and we'll get a game 5, and that's really exciting.
They took the cart too far. They actually gave them a free touch here. I'm very surprised. They were like, you did not need to march the bot all the way to the other side of the map, but okay. They want some more Overwatch here on New Queen Street. We'll happy to oblige. Makoto flies up, finds an opening pick. Dipper's able to shadow step and join them and take control of Statue. Dangerous move, but he's able to escape along the outside. We'll allow for a recontest here with this Orbital, but first already low, backing up, and it feels like Kafe's a little out of sync here.
Yeah, this Reaper may have issues at range unless you know the routes to cut them off, and First is getting ready for the ult, but there's a Death Blossom.
Yeah, Fern will not make it into the fight. The Orbital Ray fades. The rally looking very lonesome on point, but First is just too damn good at this hero. Oh my goodness, give me some First pop on this point. Warlock is down. First does not land that overhead, but I see the shots of Ray and the overclock pouring through, and we will get that map 5.
That would have been the funniest way to win a series, though, is like you're gifted that touch and then you win the fight.
And then you just walk it all the way back.
Like, I don't know, but hey, you've had the right reads on what series go to game 5. This has been really fun.
I mean, Cafe's a sure talk. It's their 4th map 5 in a row. Literally.
The stats are there.
Oh my goodness.
All
right,
just from the get-go, I mean, the Zarya was just like a good understanding of, okay, you know how to counter the queen. Ray has a lot more room just on this map in general to be able to free fire. And first, I think just looked like the better Vendetta. I think it was also due to the setup of the team of being able to bubble and kind of knowing what areas of the map it's going to be harder to escape from. And Vengeance got to the right comp eventually, the Zarya, which was going to be a bit more flexible to get around, not as go shoot and have fun as Axe likes to do. And Temper went to the Reaper, which there were some moments where Temper had moments to be able to kill supports but couldn't because of the lack of range. So Temper just giving up on the Venture or whatever kind of, I don't know their full hero pool, but always having a Tracer in your back pocket for maps like this is so important for a team to have a DPS like that.
Temper's one of the new players here on Vengeance, just joined this season, and this is our first time seeing them on stream as well. So this is my first exposure to Temper. I don't know what their hero pool looks like, but we kind of see the power of the hit scan there, and we see somebody in chat, Moskin says, Ray remembers she is actually her. And we see, that hit scan kind of wake up a little bit there, you know, and the power of that Sojourn.
Yeah, very reminiscent of Bun, of just someone who could easily take over the whole lobby, especially on Sojourn. And that seems to be the tip of the spear of this Kafe team. And First knows how to call those engages too. Like, I'm seeing First in the kill feed every fight.
Yeah, First is a beast, and it has been, these teams both go so fast. I'm used to seeing Kafe, being the one taking all the risks, and usually, we'll invest, to go early, even if they have 4 ultimates, so they have 1 ultimate, they still like to be the ones to set the pace. And to see a team actually kind of match them in pace has been interesting.
Wow, Risky. 13,000 damage on the Zarya. And that makes a difference, because I felt like Risky didn't have to reset their energy too much near the end of the map. They're able to kind of get momentum, which is what Push is all about, but especially Zarya. And there are some moments where the other side were able to just collapse onto Risky and counteract that Zarya, but there's a lot of push and pull as the map entails. Now Flashpoint is, well, control, but a lot more of it, so I could easily see Axe going back to Malga and going crazy again. I
think it's exactly what we're going to see. Just control, but a lot more of it. I like it. And we're getting the other, we got our second Flashpoint map of the series. Going to map 5, you can't choose whatever game type, anything that hasn't been played yet. So yeah, we have now seen Suravasa and New Junk City in the same series. That doesn't happen very often.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. And that was quite dominant for the Axe side, right?
It was. And then we do, in fact, see the Maga come back in.
Or the band. Oh, yeah, Ramatra Wu Yang.
Yes.
Oh, you're all good. Ramatra Wu Yang. So, Wu Yang was a bit annoying on Nepal, considering you could get really crazy damage around corners, especially to follow up with a Malga or any kind of brawl. I haven't seen too much Ramatra either. I think that kind of fell over a lot, so it wasn't too significant. But what is significant is Axe and the friends running it down. And winning.
This does feel like their comfort zone right here. With the Lucio Moira, with the Venn diagram pairing, and then, Axe just running it down and holding, like WM1, this is the Vengeance special. I think I'm learning.
So now it looks like Red Side's just trying to keep their distance. Ray maybe finding an off angle.
Ooh, a good off angle.
You don't have a Lucio. Yeah.
But they can kind of huddle up behind the brig. You look for the speed rings as big engaged, so particularly on to First. We see First find the opening there. The clapback is good, but Ray is in fact her. First comes up with the 3-piece. Ray with a beautiful shot. Flip goes to Kafe.
Absolutely. And Kafe just being able to keep that distance is what's going to be key. And it's just enough where you have the good sight lines, but not close enough where you're accessible to a Lucio Malga run it down. So Ray gotta conserve that jump until the last possible moment, and then when all the focus is on Ray, First gets to pop off and vice versa.
Oh, Ray takes care of Timper with a point-blank move after getting drill dash off the top, drops the OC, and is just throwing shot after shot into the back of Axe. There is a coalescence in play from Savage. Here the top Axe back up and just thrown over the bulk of this nasty bloodbath on the objective for Mikado's whirlwind dash in for a kill on the Risky.
And what's good about the Moira is,
okay,
orbital strike. We're gonna make something out of nothing here, and if map gets countered by the beat, just the Moira orb in a brawl setting is gonna be the best healer. As much as I hate to praise a Moira, you're just gonna get so much more ult charge, and hence why that coalescence was 20% ahead of the orbital and the rally.
Not to mention the value of the coal itself. I mean, you're just pouring through so many players on both sides. That was a max value Moira through the entirety of that opening flashpoint.
So we'll see now with the rally that at least was earned, that it's going to be an important point to maybe try and stun someone like the Venture, and that could be an easy kill to get away with before they're able to burrow away or while they come out, or to stun Makoto. So Koryu could be a big playmaker here in this fight.
First, Soren slices over, rejoining the rest of the team. Oh, whip shot was a little early. We're gonna get the rally here to try to survive against the cage fight, but I mean the grab's thrown in. I'm not sure who's locked in here with who, but it's nothing but Kafe left standing.
Yeah, how are you gonna cage fight a Sojourn, and the Sojourn's the one popping off in your cage match? So Axe is usually pretty successful in those, and maybe it's because they have a Reaper paired with that usually, or Makoto wasn't set up yet, but the rally did make a huge difference. I thought it was going to be more in the stun department, but the resources seem to have been enough.
Hey, you know, it's the beauty of rally. It's good for so many things. It's like the ketchup of Overwatch Ultimates. You know, it just kind of goes on anything. That's it. And a centering blade in play here. Throw it on the point. Woo! There were a couple of targets here. Surprised he could hit. Ray does have the overclock. Try to counterpunch back here with. That'll force Mikado to back up. Where Risky will burn him down. Kafe rotate onto the point and trying to anchor. Risky is low, so is Fern. Everybody kind of on a nice edge right now. Axe falling will give Kafe the edge in the fight. Morlock will get melted, and Kafe is going to get themselves a flashpoint here.
Yeah, I think this Malga team, I think Vengeance are starting to suffer from the damage at range, and they're having issues kind of chasing it down and having some gap close. So that was the issue. I think Ray has found the optimal distance, and a lot more attention has been given to first, and Risky is trying to balance all of that. So this has been a good approach to a team that doesn't seem to be able to slow down. They have found a way to not only slow down Vengeance, but to actually stop them for a point.
Yeah, now Vengeance just rotate onto the objective. Almost looked a little stunned. They're not pushing out. They're not running at Risky full bore. They're kind of just standing here for a moment. This gives Kafe time to set up on this outside. First with an ultimate to play with. Okay, here comes Axe. Cooldowns are ready to go. We're aiming at the bring, the boop, the shots. Poor using spawn. Slices on to first. There's the 1-2 systematic team fight that we've come to know and love Vengeance for. Ray has been able to strike back. This is a 4v3, currently favoring Vengeance at the moment with the orbital thrown onto the objective. That's going to give Kafe control of the point.
Interesting. I thought Kafe were for sure losing that fight, and that
they were.
Ray was very, very late, but I don't think Vengeance realized that the cards are in their favor.
The sound barrier to fend off against the grab. Yeah, Kafe got control in a losing fight. They were absolutely losing that fight. Now Temper is able to cut through one, but it's still back and forth. Risky's still here. And I think Poryu's out. Yeah, Poryu's out here just still in control. Kafe have this right now.
So yeah, although the fight was salvaged, I'd still like to see the orbital raid be in a more proactive setting, because with how fast this run it down is, everyone's going to scatter, and you're not going to get max value out of an ultimate that goes in a straight line. Everyone else is going elsewhere. But that was a really good grab from Risky, especially when Vengeance were coming down a choke point. So that's what really won them that. And now Ray just needs to find a good spot to overclock.
Timber will not give Ray that option. Tectonic Shock, that's some good damage. And it's enough to force Kafe back. Risky was really stuck in an awkward spot. Poryu has to come back, kind of bail out their Zarya. They're able to hold on to this ground, back up, see if they can regroup. First, ooh, was able to escape just barely. Oh, I say that, 10 health. Nope, never mind.
Oh, no.
The skill orb.
The orb.
The skill orb.
I'm wondering how necessary it's going to be to have the Thunderblade with the grab, or can they do enough damage through the grab? Just wondering how necessary. First, you got the rally in the cage fight, and this has been a huge counter. Was not expecting that. It is pretty even though, but with Savage going down, this is cooked.
Yeah, Risky's able to duck back up. Really no worse for wear. Still very high charge. Axe and company not locking down the target. So, when it's going good for Vengeance, it's going really good. And it's really obvious that they're all looking at the same target. What a whiff on the grab. Axe, I gotta give you credit on that. A perfect overrun to bait and dodge the grab and turn around and get the kill onto Risky. Unfortunately, first is cut down 2 of your teammates. And Axe was the only one left standing.
And Ray didn't even need to overclock, just got her sweet revenge after getting countered and ran at by a Venture the whole time, which that is going to force Temper to go to a Reaper. So gonna just approach this in a more simple front to back, especially at this point. You don't have to overthink it too much, but gap close has been an issue, and I think they just want more front-loaded damage with Axe, because they seem to be countered by things like a rally and not able to have more lethal enough burst damage in these brawl moments. So Temper's going to try and deliver that more consistently.
Shadow steps across. He's going to jump right on top of Ray. It's a good position if only you weren't surrounded. I saw the vision. You were trying to close the gap, but unfortunately, Ray is just... I should have just left it on her pop. Ray is, in fact, her beautiful 3-piece. Accuracy on point. Can't ask for much more. Fit on point. Everything's on point for Ray right now.
I almost need Makoto to be the first entry here, because they have a lot of tools to defend themselves, buy a little time to get out if even. But if Temper is the first person in, everyone is going to look at this Reaper, and it's very cooldown dependent and doesn't have as many bells and whistles to get out as the Vendetta does. So Temper just has to be a bit more careful on the initiative.
Makoto is the one going in first. There was any orbital throw on point. I didn't really quite see what proc this. I don't see any blue outlines on point. Okay. That was another great bait. I'm going to give Axe credit for the bait there, Lemon.
Yeah, maybe the disengage was just really strong, and now the tempo beat could be coming in, and Axe is setting it up.
Warlock needs to get it down soon. They're going to drop it. Might be too late. Savage and Temple have already fallen. First is in the air with the Sundering right on top of Warlock's head. Now it's just Axe remaining. You got a high charge Zarya on one side, a just juiced up sword in your face. And Kafe are stealing away this map 5 at 87%. They're able to force it here after being down 1-2 in the series. Look for Temper and Morlock trying to get a touch of this left-hand side. They will initiate the OT. Is there enough power left in the bank? You have Axe with a cage fight. They got to make it back here in time. Makoto's got to live. Boyu's got the rally in play. Axe returns with the cage fight. He's able to get multiple people with him. The grab is here, and Risky will just cut through everybody. Vengeance took him to the brink, but Risky stands tall, and what a finish to a fantastic series. Your number 2 seeded Kafe win it out in 5 yet again.
Kafe win through social distancing. Man, I knew there was so much more to Ray than meets the eye and to what we saw from Nepal, because they were just getting rushed so much, and all you need to do is you don't have to fight fire with fire. You could just leave the house burning. You could just walk away and try to keep your distance, which is what they did. Axe just got chunked. The cage matches were countered by the rallies. Kafe knew when to use their cooldowns to escape, and you didn't have a good ranged option from Kafe to contest from Vengeance to contest Ray, because the best way to beat a good Sojourn is your own good Sojourn.
Yep.
Dive sometimes, you can force that initial jump, and maybe if there's layers to your dive, you can eventually crack on that Sojourn, but it just wasn't synced enough from the Vengeance side to, at times the Venture was able to kill Ray, but if Ray was ever left alone in these fights, you saw how Temper couldn't play Reaper. Temper was hit or miss on the Venture, whether they could access Ray. And Ray was a huge part of having consistent damage into Axe being that Mauga. And if the Mauga is not able to set things up and kind of keep the space, then the whole rush falls apart.
And honestly, I think Ray earned your player of the match based off of all the things you're talking about. Yeah, Yeah, she absolutely got your player of the match. Kafe's a legacy squad we've had on many times, but again, Ray's new to this team. What an addition she is coming in this hit scan role, and I mean, just came alive over the course of this series. And I mean, and I talked about that. You know, it's proving at one point you might have struggled, might have been asking themselves, why am I even bothering trying to play hit scan into this comp? We're looking at this like double flanker, double flex DPS, just harassment blender meta, and then Ray proving no. There's not just a place for hit scans, but hit scans are still prominent. And we saw it when Tipper tries to come in. The moment that keeps replaying in my head is when Tipper does the drill dash on point A of that Suravasa and tries to knock Ray off, and Ray just turns around and just slaughters him. I mean, just point blanks. Like, even if you got in close, Ray was still able to win those duels once she got heated up. So, I mean, outstanding performance. Leads the server in damage there for map 5, by the way. 12.1k damage there out of the Soldier. 28-4.
Which is so impressive because she basically has the amount of damage that 2 DPS combined have on the other side, like almost. Like that's how impactful she was. And you know, this wouldn't be able to come together without someone like Risky, who I don't think I hated a graph. Like I don't think a graph has ever come out where they lost the fight. I think just coordinating around support ults, just kind of being proactive with those, because you're kind of substituting a Juno with a Lucio and almost playing it as a Lucio. You want to be proactive with it. You want to lead fights, start fights with that orbital ray coming out first. I like that the rally was apparently enough to go through the cage. I guess the shield really just does extend through most of the cage match, and then you kind of got kind of fun interactions that we're seeing and how Ray's team was able to counter such a dive rush heavy team.
That was a really fun match. We saw a lot of cool interaction. I mean, you kind of pointed out earlier, like just using Sunder to break cage fight. Like that's something I had never seen before. Just legit something I had never seen before.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw a lot of cool interactions with this Malga team in our first introduction to Vengeance as well. Vengeance is it was a new squad this season. We hadn't gotten them on stream before. So it was our first exposure to this team and kind of learning what this team is really about. There's a new squad in Expert. They were in Advanced last season. There's a couple tier breaks between like you just barely move into Expert and you're playing against the top 8 playoff contenders. There's a couple tier breaks in there. So I mean, honestly, big props to Vengeance for showing up and putting up this hell of a series and a hell of a debut in Expert Division, honestly.
Yeah, I think Vengeance will add more layers to their team if they kind of add some kind of ranged hit scan into their hero pool and or a tracer, because then that'll open up some options. I think there's going to be so much more to Vengeance when they expand their map pool, and I think a league like this is definitely going to push those limits.
Let's see. I still owe Magic a dad joke, and we're going to go with, what is Santa Claus' favorite type of potato chip? We're keeping it on theme here for the holidays, Lemon. What is Santa Claus' favorite type of potato chip?
I don't know.
Why, Crisp Pringles, of course.
Oh, God. On that note, good night, Bull Skunk. Enjoy your outro, and we'll look at the